And all right.
Okay, good. So I'm just welcoming everybody. I see that we have a couple of people here so far, and I'm sure people will join in for our Chimes and Lights Committee meeting today, July 19th. We're getting started right away with the discussion about the event because all of a sudden we have permission to go from maybe a limited event that we were thinking about to kind of a full-scale event. However, we're 4 months away and we have limitations. So
I apologize, Cindy. I gotta grab the phone.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So one of the big changes, and I'll share this with Rita here, and maybe if Sharon joins us from the Fathoms, she'll have a better idea of what traffic control is pricing out to be, because all events from now on that have any kind of traffic alteration downtown will have to have flaggers and whatever the regulations are for safety. So that's got to get built into our events now. And
how are we allowed to close the street? I mean, we can't close the street. Okay.
Yeah, we can close the street, but we can no longer use the Port Orchard Police for traffic control. So, and I guess one of the things that you have to have, and I'm not sure, Janine, is that our own city rule, or what is the rule that you have to have people, flaggers to help people cross the street? What is that rule?
Honestly, I'm not sure if that's one of ours or if that's one of the new laws. That I don't know. I apologize.
Okay, that's okay. Something that Sharon was talking about in a previous meeting and saying that she, wondered about that. So like at intersections, I guess if there's a lot of people crossing streets, you know what? I'm confused, because if we have the street closed, why would we need to have flaggers?
We shouldn't.
Right?
Oh yeah, because there's no traffic.
Unless at the ends, where at the two blocking ends for traffic coming up, maybe someone. I don't know why.
Yeah, because you know what? If the street is totally closed, like we've done it in the past,
because people just walk right across the street anywhere and everywhere.
Then I don't see why we need flaggers anywhere. I guess we'll find out about that.
Yeah. Do you want me to get a hold of Brandy and/or the chief to see what their thoughts are on that?
Yeah,
definitely.
And another thing is, and this will work in with what did you say the runner lady's name was?
It was Loretta Fritz.
Oh yeah, Loretta.
Yes.
We've got to find out if there's a run in the midst of it, because that will in itself cause a whole different. Loretta's run. Okay. I'm guessing that she's going to try to do that. And it's nice to have that if it's there. And if she follows the pattern that we've had in the past with those runs, is the street gets closed down completely for a period of time and then reopens towards mid to late afternoon. The second section opens up. So we need to find out how that would all dovetail together with our new changes with traffic control and police coverage. So another thing, I guess I don't know for sure, Janine, would the police cover the city events for security and such, or only other events they don't cover? I don't know that.
Yeah, I don't, and I can check with him. From my understanding, it's any event. They're not going to be doing traffic control, but I can follow up with him when I ask about the street being closed.
Yeah, but I mean, even not even traffic control, like security.
Oh, security. Oh, yeah. I don't know
what I mean?
Yeah.
Because usually, for instance, I know that we usually have police and public works, like at both ends.
Yeah.
And we have like Jersey barriers and things like that to help protect the crowds that gather. We better find out about some of that and what it's going to look like.
Yep.
Again, you know what? It's not a whole year that we have. We don't have budget for security or traffic control. We still have to advertise a bit. But we don't have that much of a budget because we didn't think we were going to even have much going on. And
Well, and that could run into, if you have to start buying barriers and cones and hiring labor, I mean,
well, we
that could run
have,
into quite a line item.
yeah, I think, well, we have the barriers already. We have cones. So Public Works has a lot of those supplies.
Oh, good.
It's who
Yeah,
pays for it, which budget pays for it. And that's what I'll have to find out. And, you know, it might have to be discussed at council. It's just that we've had some changes in the past. The police department have actually covered a lot of that, and Public Works has covered a lot of that. I'm not sure. So that's one of the first things we have to find out, because that'll determine how much of an event we can have.
yeah, because the event, now, correct me if I'm wrong, but when on the vendors fair, they would
Mhm.
set up, and anything where they would stay overnight, like a weekend thing, wasn't there usually some sort of security downtown for those tents, I mean, booths that were left up or not?
I think that those had to be covered either, that security had to be covered either by volunteers or the event.
Okay,
Yeah, because I can remember Cedar Cove days, we had to have our own volunteers for security.
for security.
Yeah.
I think it, yeah.
But you know how we have Chimes and Lights is that a whole bunch of people gather, and then we have Santa and the fire truck and all of that. And it's all in the street. So people park elsewhere. And so, you know, I've got a lot of questions, and we'll find out if we can go ahead with our traditional setup. And another thing is that we would share the tent traditionally that we had across the street for weather with whomever did the run.
Mhm.
That was usually Jingle Bell. And that was a nice tent to have. It was a great big tent.
Yeah, that's where I used to do coat check for the run. The runners
Yeah,
would
and-
check their coats and everything in with us there. So we'd sit and just take tags and we return them.
Right, and sometimes what we would do is the tent would be left up, and we would help to pay for it or something. So we have to find out about the tent, if Loretta's gonna have one. And if not, what it would cost to rent it. Because we almost always have bad weather. And we also need, remember how we had the choirs all set up with
Yeah.
coverings over them? That's another thing, is I'll have to find out if Kathleen is going to be setting up choirs, because we haven't had choirs for a while. And
Would
that
they
was a
be-
big part.
Would they be at the city hall area where they did before? Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
I think so.
That's so nice. It's so festive to have that
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah, that if we could have them again. I know that kids are going back to school now. Again, it's all so new, you guys. Are they wearing masks? Can they get together? We'll find out if they can have music ready by December, but perhaps we can have Kathleen start calling around to find out about those choirs, because we had quite a few in the past. We had probably, let's see, 5 choirs or so, maybe even more sometimes. I already talked to Gary Graham's, and the band is on, so they can come. We know that for sure.
That's good.
Yeah, and hay rides were going to be discontinued several years ago, so we don't have anything like a ride, which maybe that's okay for this year, given that we're trying to figure ourselves out, our city out. Who can do what. But I know that the Port of Bremerton, Kathy Garcia, has put on a really beautiful display. Did you guys get to see it last year with the music and all the big blow up toys and stuff?
Yeah, we drove down there to see it.
Wasn't
It was
that
really
cool?
nice. Yeah. And they
So
had
that is
I
actually,
remember.
you have what?
I don't
Denise?
remember.
yeah, they had a really big arch down there too. And I know when we were down there, there was people going under the arch and taking pictures and just doing whole family photographs down there. And it was a really pretty, it was really nice.
Yeah, well, if they had that again, I don't know where the port is at with things. That adds a lot to the festival. So we'll double check with her to see. And I'm just gonna see if I can find a picture. There were some really good pictures with the Fathoms royalty back there with those great big, beautiful blow up things.
I think I have a couple. Do you want me to see if I can share my screen?
Yes, yes,
If I
yes.
find them, yeah.
Okay, that would be really nice.
Yeah, let me see what I can find.
And it was fun having the royalty down there too, with their pretty blue gowns. Yeah, because boy, the displays were gorgeous.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I got a lot of,
You've got some?
I got some here. Let me get some good ones up because I have quite a few to look through.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find those ones that
Yeah,
are,
and they're
oh, here's one. That's the one that I just pulled up. That's
Oh.
funny. That is too funny. Yeah, let me see if I can share.
so that would be, that's one thing that serves as an event. Oh, yeah, that one. Mhm.
Oh, how cute.
Oh, did that
Yeah.
show? Oh, good. Okay. Yeah, there was
Yeah,
this-
and then they had like a light show too that went along with music that would flash off and on.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah, they had, I mean, just quite a bit. And there's the, whoops, it stopped. But yeah,
So-
set music, and that was a lot of fun.
Okay, so we could maybe have that light show. We could check with the yacht club, Sinclair Yacht Club, to find out if they're going to have lighted boats. Because even last year they had boats during the midst of the pandemic. All right. See. So that leaves us with, oh yeah, look at
Little
the little
minions.
the minions.
That's so cute.
Yeah, it really was nice.
Yeah.
And they had it was one way. So you could drive the parking lot, which is one way, I guess, anyway, and then go around and come. It was really nice. Kiss
Aw.
That Bank, we'll check with Kiss That Bank to see if they're going to do a lighted display. And how are we doing? I know I'm jumping around all over the place. How are we doing for our lighted trees?
We
Have we-
are, yeah, so right now I think we're at 19. I was just counting those. We're at 19 or 20. I was going to get out some social media stuff last week. We just got very, very busy. So I'm sending those out this week. But we've had, yeah, a lot of people are calling. A lot of people are excited about it. And so I think we're going to fill up again. Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Good, yeah.
And what I'll do is, I did a last minute kind of call last year and was able to round up quite a few towards the end. So I'm
How's the
not too
electrical
worried.
situation?
Oh, that's been worked out quite well.
Oh, good. That's all handled, everything?
I think so. Janine, Bill and Tuesday ended up getting the cords and things and worked that all out, didn't they?
Oh,
Last year.
yeah, they're going to go ahead. I don't know if they've purchased them yet or they're going to, but yeah, it's in the budget to purchase all the electrical cords and a container for those. So yeah, we'll be supplying those.
Okay.
Good, good.
Yes. So really that will be what we're going to be doing is promoting those trees and getting more sponsors for them. Okay, so we're July. We get really serious about that in September when people are kind of back to school and from vacation. Then they start thinking about that a lot. So I'm not too worried. 19 is a really good start for selling those
Good.
things. And, we talked about having those planters numbered. We didn't completely solve that yet. Everyone's really swamped, but you can get these kinds of things like this where you could, they're very inexpensive. Spray paint them any color and just glue them on if we needed to, or small ones like this. I'm just not too worried. That has been an issue with the planters getting moved around. We're not going to do much to them until all the flowers get emptied out. And I think that happens probably in September or October. So at the same time, we'll get numbers or plaques glued on them. So, and keep the planters in the approximate place that they are now, except spreading them out a little bit. Bob was worried that we'd be hauling 300-pound planters all over. We won't do too much moving, but a little bit. Um, let's see. What else do we need to do? We need to get the fire truck reserved. So Janine, can you do that? Do you know who to call?
I haven't been involved with that, but I can find out.
Okay, I think that, do you remember Terry Bontrager?
Yes, with the Saints.
I know that he was involved in that in the past, and I am just not sure, but Saints would be another place to check on that.
Okay. Sounds
And
good.
I've got to double check on Santa. We had Pat for a while, and now it's been a couple of years, and I have to check to find out if he's available as a Santa again. Otherwise, we need to find Santa, another Santa. I guess it's not that easy to do either.
We had Dennis Simpson.
Yes,
He
right.
had a health scare, and I
Yes.
don't know if he's been doing it. I don't know them. I mean, they're just neighbors, and I follow their Facebook stuff. But I don't know if he's done doing it or if he was taking time off to recover, and might be interested again. I don't know. That's the only person I could think of. Or Brian Sauer. Brian Sauer. We always kid Brian about his beard. He's getting ready to be Santa.
Does he have a suit, Rita?
I don't know. We just tease him a little bit about it. I don't know. Maybe he does it at his church. Can
you ask Rita? Can you follow up? Rita,
Yeah.
actually, here's a couple of jobs for you. So would you
Rita's
check
right.
with Brian? Okay, yeah. Janine,
Okay.
could you follow up and find out if Kitsap Bank is going to do a lighted display again too? And maybe check with Kathy Garcia about the Port of Bremerton. I'll check with Kathleen about choirs. Rita's going to check on a Santa. And Rita, you know Dennis, maybe you could just give him a jingle and just find out how he's doing. I know he often does the Fathoms breakfast thing.
I will reach out as a neighbor and just
Yeah.
kind of see how the situation is.
Right. So basically, just so you have some background information, is
Mhm.
he used to be the city Santa, and then
Mhm.
he stepped down because of, like you said, health reasons, and he was going out east and such, so he was traveling a lot. So they cut back. And so that's
Okay.
when we asked Pat, but I will also reach out to Pat.
Okay.
But let's just find out about possibilities. I'll call
Sure.
Pat. Okay.
And then I'll check with Brian. I'll have Larry talk to Brian and see if he was just joking, if he's serious, if he has a Santa suit.
Yeah, because
isn't that what you tend to a normal everyday question? Do you happen to have a Santa suit?
Well, I could see him having one.
I
That's
could too. He's got grandkids now, so I could see him.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to put little things here. So, okay, Janine's checking on the event application and the traffic control regulations, and Loretta's run. And are you good, Janine, checking on the tent cost?
Absolutely. Yep. I will find out.
Okay, because that'll follow up with if Loretta's having a run and following up if she's going to have a big tent, then we could. I think we've helped to pay for part of that.
I want to say yes. And I'll verify.
$200 or something.
Yeah.
So, okay. Then I'll contact Kathleen about the choirs and the Port of Bremerton. Okay. Let's see. Who's going to follow up on the Port of Bremerton Light Show? Is that a good?
I can do it because I'll be asking Kitsap Bank, and then I could do the Port of Bremerton also. I don't mind.
Okay, and that follows in with lighted boats, whether Kathy does that or you. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I will ask her.
Okay. Good. And then Rita and I will be covering Santas, and Janine's staying on top of lighted trees and promoting social media. Okay, let me see what else. Choirs, we'll find out about our choirs. And for sure, the band is on, which is so fun. And then, you know, what we'll be doing is anytime we do any kind of advertising, we'll be kind of letting people know that we're starting the Christmas around the world for next year. And that we're going to start with our Scottish Christmas with bagpipes and stuff like that, and then switch gears to probably Jamaica the following year. So it's really going to be, yeah, we'll really mix it up a lot.
This will be fun.
Yeah, I
It'll be a
think
lot
so
of fun.
too. I think so. It'll just be fun to come up with ideas for the various countries and such. Okay, let's see, what else do we have? We know we're not going to do the tractor hay rides. Let's see. The church groups.
I was gonna ask, yeah, did you want me to reach out and say, if we are able to do this, are you available?
Please do.
Yep.
Let's check on the hospitality thing. Boy, this is such a complete reversal of stay away. Okay, yeah, if we contact them, that'd be great. Now, remember, we've always had that Pooch and Purr parade.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that the one lady left Woodside Animal Hospital that was organizing everything. Can't remember her name.
Jordan.
Jordan.
Yeah. And I do have another contact for Woodside. I can get a hold of her and ask them if they're planning on doing another Pooch and Purr parade this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that has been a pretty popular event in the
Oh,
past.
yeah.
Mhm.
People love bringing their animals and putting them in a costume.
Yeah.
I know. And having them shiver to death. No, that is really cool. Okay. Well, we'll check on that. And I do remember Sharon saying that Larry is going to let us use the Santa sleigh if we want to. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a Santa sleigh available to us.
And that's
Which
what
was-
Corrine, is that what Corrine used last year for photos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, when did she use that?
She had it in the back. I didn't see it. I just remember hearing about it.
Well, we may be, yeah, we'll find out from Corrine. I've got to find out what Popsa's doing. Have you heard anything at all, Janine, about Popsa?
I have not.
Me neither.
I think Corrine was in France. I sent her an email. I had a question about that vendor show. She was in France, and I put a call into Kathleen again about the vendor. I never heard back from her. So I think they're kind of busy right now, I guess, getting back to being open, and I think the library is real busy.
And a
But-
lot of people are traveling, you know, all of a
Mhm.
sudden they could.
Yeah.
And seeing friends and family they haven't seen in a while. So that doesn't surprise me. Yeah, we'll find out if Popsa's going to be having events and see how we can work together with them.
Who is it? Who's head of Popsa right now? Is it Corrine?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's still Corrine.
Yeah, I think Kathy was, when somebody said, oh, it was the hairdresser downtown, Robin, said, if you can't reach Corrine, I'd sent Corrine an email, never heard anything back. Then I found out that she was in France, and they said Kathleen was handling everything for her. But then that was right when the library sent their email out about their new changes about opening up and the time, you know, restraints were being lifted and all that. So I know that it was a busy weekend.
Okay. Let's see. What else? Well, then when I talk to Kathleen, I
I'm
will
sorry,
also
I gotta
ask her-
grab the phone again. I
Yeah, yeah.
apologize.
that's okay. I'll ask Kathleen also about the library doing, you
The
know how they
story
do.
time.
Yeah. Right. They do usually in a craft for kids, you know?
Yeah.
I'll check on those two things with Kathleen. And you and I will work on Santa stuff. And let's see, what else would there be? I'm just looking down the list. Sydney Museum generally has an open house.
Uh-huh.
And we can find out if they're going to be having something. They usually have like in the log cabin, they have photos with Santa. That was another thing, remember?
Yeah.
There was photos with Santa, but that wasn't working out so well.
Huh.
Our
Well, I
photos
think-
was,
Did we have photos? Was that the only one?
No, we used to have them, but I know that Fathoms or the Log Cabin Museum has photos with Santa, like a breakfast thing or something. And
Oh,
so
yeah,
I
I
know,
think it was yeah, I remember hearing about the breakfast thing.
so we've got to find out, talk about whether we should have photos with Santa or not, and where we should have it, because the problem we thought was having it down by the gazebo. Hardly anyone showed up like several years ago.
Oh,
It was kind of meager down there because there wasn't anything hardly down there, you know?
well,
We
that,
didn't-
yeah, you gotta draw, you gotta have
And then
activity.
I think actually, Janine, didn't we have, we brought the sleigh in and we had it kind of near the port then?
Yeah, I
Um,
believe so, about 2 years ago, yeah. When we
And then
tried
there
to
was
do
a
the
really
little
long
square.
line and they
Yeah.
were complaining about the long line. The police wasn't there an issue with people trying to get through with the hay rides and
Yep.
and the,
Oh,
yeah, it got a little sticky. Okay, so, but we're not having the hay rides. But anyway, we should find out if we should stage Santa down at the port for kind of a meet and greet and camera opportunity. So I'll put a question mark there once we get a little more information. Okay, let's see what else. That's a lot. We've got a lot to find out about. The tree purchase and all of that's all set up though with Bill and Tuesday?
As far as I know, yeah, we should be good to go, but I'll double check with Bill and Tuesday if I see her and then follow up.
Okay,
what does it mean on the agenda where it says fire pits?
oh, we used to have fire pits.
Do you want me to
People-
remove that?
Yes,
Okay.
Oh, okay,
can you imagine now?
yeah, not, oh, no, goodness, with this dry,
No, well, and just with all the regulations and such.
yeah,
You know what? We also found that the last several years, the volunteer that was supposed to manage those and light those didn't show up. So even though they were ready to go, they didn't even
Oh.
get used. And it's just as well, because
yeah,
I'm thinking everything's just too much liability stuff anymore, right?
well, especially this first year, getting back into the swing of things, anything brand new or that didn't work in the past, I wouldn't jump on fixing any of that this year.
Right. As it is, we're just gonna barely be able to get these things going because 4 months isn't very long at all.
No, it flies, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
I'll go quick.
Mhm. Yep. Okay, so the tree decorating contest update, we've got that, and we'll just keep promoting it, but we'll do a big promotion like around September.
Yeah.
And then we'll start making calls if we need to get the last of our sponsors. But I'm not too worried about that. People got pretty excited about that.
Yeah.
And we advertise, that we advertise and let people know who was a sponsor, and that was nice. So as far as event flyers and brochures, I'm not so sure about that either, because I don't know how much money we'll have for that if we have to have any of these other expenses taken care of.
Okay. I did email utility billing just to see if we're able to get information out there, what their deadline is. So I'm just waiting to hear back on utility billing.
Okay.
And then I think we had like a 1-page event flyer, just kind of giving the date of the event. Did you want me to start working on that and send you a copy of it?
The
I think,
it's the single thing that we sent.
yep, the festival
Yeah.
and lights and,
Yeah. Let's try to get that updated. Yeah. I want to make that deadline if we can.
okay.
And could you get a quote on what that costs for the inclusion in our bill, utility bills? Because that's 2 separate billings.
Yes,
We do half and half.
yeah,
And now that, it's back to early December, I think the deadline for that is pretty early, Janine, because in order to hit both billing cycles, it seems to me it will probably have to go out October and November.
that's what I'm thinking, yeah. And I think we
Wow.
did that either last year or the year before, so the deadline, if I remember, was like the end of August.
Okay.
But I'll follow up with them, just to verify.
Okay. Yeah, and you know what? We could probably use just what we've done before, just updating the information. So, but we better just double check on the cost,
Perfect,
because
yep,
we're gonna have more expenses this year. Okay. Yeah, that'll be good, because that really lets everybody know. That's a good way of letting people know.
Absolutely.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Okay, so we'll find out the cost on that and the deadline. And yeah, what did we call that? A one something or another? I know I have it on file too.
Like yes. Like a 1/3 page or a,
Yeah,
oh
we
my
have a
goodness.
little,
Yes.
we have a term for it.
Yes, and I cannot think of what it is.
Let me see here.
Sorry.
Okay. Let me just double check. So that utility. Yeah, I can't find it exactly.
Yeah, it looks like utility billing insert. Oh, I can actually, let's do this. Fun. Here is, so here's the one we did in 2019. So it just kind of gave a brief.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so
Okay.
this is the utility billing one.
Okay, so we're gonna have to get quite a bit of information in order to be able to fill
To do
that
that,
out.
yeah.
Okay, well, it's on our radar, and if we can find out the deadline for getting that in,
Perfect, yep.
that'd be great.
And there was also this one, which was just the basic flyer. So it was just, let me make sure I got the right one here. Here we go. Yeah. So this is just like the one page, we put it on glossy paper. And there was this one too. That we
Yeah,
put up on like our bulletin boards and put it on our windows.
those are the great big ones, like posters that we posted up.
Yes, yep.
Well, I'm pretty sure we'll be fine with the price of those.
Yep.
And for the utility, but we probably have to have enough left over for a couple of ads in
Okay.
order to get our sponsors advertised. So I'm not sure if we're going to have enough money for the brochure, like the traditional brochure.
Okay. Oh yeah, the printed one. Okay, yeah.
Remember? Because that was pretty pricey. And plus it was a big distribution. So even if we had those little onesie flyers, those work. Those are so attractive. We could just be handing those out, and we could basically just have that blue side that's got the feature like we just showed. And then the other side, we could have an abbreviated schedule.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So instead of doing a great big holdout for this year, I think we could get away with that. So
Good idea.
that would reduce costs, and then that way we might have money for some of the things that we're not sure that we have to pay for yet, like the tent or police security, or any of those things that we don't know.
Oh, I just got an email from Sharon saying she's been on a call. Do I have the link? So I'm gonna respond to her. So she may be joining.
Oh, good, because then we can ask her, because she's going to have the most current information on the costs for some of this stuff, because she's been dealing with it the last weeks. Okay, good. And plus she might know what's going on with POPSA too.
Good point, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, for sure take fire pits off of the public works list.
Absolutely.
That's the last thing we need right now.
Oh, there she is.
Oh, we have to have the sound system too, Janine.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yep.
We've got to make sure that we have enough for the sound system. Wow. Hi, Sharon. Sharon King Sipple? What's a Sipple mean?
It's supposed to be Sharon King FOF. Rather than
FOF.
fun.
Oh, okay. Well, it says Sippo. SIPO.
International of Port Orchard.
Okay, we got the wrong. Okay.
My apologies. I have been on a 45-minute call.
No worries. We were just talking about the thises and that's of the event that's coming in 4 months, and you know the deal because you've been out there.
Amen.
Yeah. So can you share with us real quick, what have you discovered about the whole security thing, traffic control thing?
As far as events
Costs?
go,
Yeah.
I think the whole process with the city has been really slow, cumbersome, and extremely frustrating from my point of view because, for example, I have not even got the parade approved and I haven't been able to send out any notices to people to come to Port Orchard for the parade because it's not approved. I talked to Brandy on Friday and I said, I need to meet with the police chief to see what he's going to make us do for our parade and everything else, because I can't go forward until we find out what we're doing. And the fact that it's been so slow in getting things approved, it's like yesterday at our event, I had so many people ask me, why is the car show not on the waterfront? It says Wheels on the Waterfront. I said, because the city wasn't going to approve it except 5 days before the event. We can't operate that way. So I can't share much more with you because until the police chief lays down what he's planning to do, I don't know what it's going to be. I feel that he's working with us because when the crews and Fathoms, police and fire all met last Thursday to lay out the upcoming August 8th event, that seemed to work great. I like that type of meeting to where we all know what we're doing and we're not just looking at a piece of paper. But because of the timing factor of everything, it just has gone really slow. Had we all been able to put the applications in at the first of the year, for example, and the city did their thing on them and ran them all through the process and had it all approved, and then the minute Governor Inslee said, okay, we're open, boom, the process would have been done and we could go forward and have time to advertise. That's been the real killer for us, is not being able to advertise, because vendors don't want to come on board if they know there's not an approved event. And just as I was looking for the link for here, I had my email link from Dawn Lindsay for the state on the August 8th event. She's doing e-contracts now with the state. And so this is a new process for her. And it didn't work last week when I signed the e-contract because the city is still waiting on the contract approval from the state in order to go forward with our event. Very cumbersome. But we're working through it.
The fireworks were magnificent.
Mhm.
Just beautiful.
They were.
Just
Thank
so
you.
uplifting. Really amazing. Probably,
They
I
were
mean, I thought
beautifully,
they were the most beautiful I'd ever seen.
they were beautiful. We had more money into the show because of the 6,500 and the 3,000 that the county and the Port of Bremerton gave us this year. So
Mhm.
John Miller said he would make it a great show, a short show, but he said most fireworks aren't longer than 10 minutes, 15 max, but it was a bam, bam, bam show.
Oh, it
And
was
they were
just,
beautifully done. And then we get the naysayers that say it was the worst fireworks show I've seen since 1946. And I don't know who the gentleman was, but there were some comments posted underneath his post and you know, basically said, how much did you put into this fireworks fund? Well, it's none of your business,
Oops.
kind of a thing. It's hard to ignore the naysayers when they just give you that kind of negativity, and it's so bad. And we work our tails off trying to bring events, make things happen for downtown Port Orchard, and then you have that happen and you're so tired from the event and you've worked so hard, and it's just really psychologically, it's hard to tune out the negative crap.
Yep.
And so I had done up a survey that I passed out at POPSA, and Helene and I still plan to walk the streets of every business owner downtown and canvass them. And if you don't want us down there, let us know and be honest with us. Because we try to bring people to town so that they'll see that you have a store here, or they see that, oh, there is a place to eat down here. Oh, we can go in here. Oh, let's go over here. But because we get the naysayers that say, you're taking up my parking, I don't want you down here. So.
I hear you.
And I know it's not just our event. I know that POPSA goes through the same thing with certain certain business owners, I don't know who they are, but there are certain business owners that will just say, I don't want you taking up my parking. And if you probably tried to call for a city meeting of all the business owners, they wouldn't come.
Well, we just kind of march on and try to override some of those negative voices. I'll tell you, I heard more people say than not how beautiful the fireworks were and how uplifting. I mean, the
It was
display.
very uplifting. The whole night was just a calm, serene feeling on the waterfront that I hadn't seen before. And we guesstimated that there was approximately 5% more people on the waterfront than we've ever had on the 4th of July. Maybe because it was the 10th, people had already been out camping, doing their thing, and they came back in. And I asked the Sky High Photos guy that if he was able to do any shots of any burst or anything. And he said, no, he had to babysit his over traumatized dogs
Oh, yeah.
to keep
Well,
them.
yeah.
But he said he would do some Sky High photos for us for the Festival by the Bay and the cruise event.
Well, I know that we have a discussion going on in the council about local fireworks.
Uh-huh.
And maybe in the future, some of that's going to be reined in.
Yeah,
It's
the
getting
mayor,
to-
the
Mhm.
mayor addressed that at POPSA.
Yeah, it's getting more difficult with the increased population. And, our fire dangers, everything just,
Mhm.
it's really getting to be almost a problem in some of the neighborhoods, just too many. So we'll have to see what happens with that. I'm not sure. But you know what? That I think contributes to some of on the 10th, there weren't many of those. It was
Mhm.
just your display, which I think made it also very nice. Just everybody was anticipating this. It was lovely.
They
Just
were
lovely.
beautiful.
It was
Yeah.
it was a beautiful show.
Yeah,
will
we'll
say
have to
that.
get
We
the
thoroughly
word out.
enjoyed it. Yeah.
We'll have to get some testimonials about how cool it was. Yeah,
I
lovely.
got an absolutely wonderful donation from Cox and Lucy. They did a contribution on our PayPal, and I sent him back a very nice thank you note on Tuesday after the show and said how much we appreciated the contribution. And then he also kind of bantered back, and we talked back and forth several times about ideas. And he said, when it's time to fundraise next year, you come see me, I'm going to twist some arms for you. So I said, that's the kind of support we need, is what you're saying right there.
Very nice.
And he too said it was a very beautiful show. He said, I couldn't watch your show and feel comfortable without donating to it. So
That's really
Aw,
cool.
Yeah.
that was very nice.
It really is. And there was something about that, just so proud of our hometown. And, there was something. We'll have to do some more, get some more kudos out.
The bad part on our side was, again, it was only approved 2 weeks before the event. Bob was having a really difficult time finding food vendors, and our only food, we had sweet vendors, but the only food vendor, Egg Roll Hut, his mother had died the day before the show, so he had to cancel out. So we actually had no food vendor there, and we had people coming by our sponsor party saying, can we purchase food from you? Can we buy a hot dog from you? That's how desperate people were for food. So we feel like we let the citizens down in that regard because we didn't have food vendors, but Bob worked his tail off trying to find food vendors to come, and they were all booked elsewhere.
Yeah, and you know what? This is one heck of a hard year, dealing
Very
with all
hard
the
year.
regulations. Here we are planning Chimes and Lights, and we didn't even think we could have it. And,
No.
So we've gone from nothing to everything opening up, but whether we can do it or not, and even whether we have the budget for it or not. Because Sharon, have you priced now what your traffic control is going to have to be, or the security, now that some of that has changed? Do you have figures of how much that's costing?
I got some information. One of my board members sent in some information from RCE, which is local in Port Orchard, and just the minimum rate is $35 an hour. And if you
Is
have, and that's a minimum of 4 hours.
Okay, and is that traffic control or is that,
That's traffic control.
okay,
That is certified flagging. That's not security. We pay for our own security when we do a firework, not a fireworks. When we do our 3-day summer festival, we have always had security there that we pay minimum wage to at $15 an hour. And
Okay.
they literally stay up the whole night down on the waterfront. I send their name, contact info to the police department so that they know who we have down there, so that if there's any questions, all they have to do is look at the guy, call him or whatever, and they know that that's our security guard that we have down there.
okay, all right. Well, that's something that we haven't priced for Chimes and Lights in a while, so we're having to figure that all out too.
At the conclusion of the meeting that we had last Thursday, it was determined that we would not be required, either organization, the Saints or Fathoms, would be required to have certified flaggers. They're going to do water barricades at the main 3 sections, which is Sydney and Prospect, I think, and then at Rockwell, and then over at the triangle there by City Hall. So they had been told that we didn't have to do that.
Did you say a water barricade?
Yeah, you fill the barricades with water is what we were told from the police
Okay.
department.
Yeah, that's how they make those Jersey barriers. They fill them with water.
Okay, thank you. I wasn't aware of what that was.
And they're a barricade that a person just can't lift up unless he's super duper muscle
Okay,
bound.
okay.
Yeah.
Even King Kong couldn't really. Yeah, they're heavy. So Sharon, once a street is closed, though, you don't need to have a flagger.
Hang on just a minute. That's Bob
Okay.
Morehouse. Hold on.
Okay.
Bob, I'm on pop, so I'll call you back. Or I'm on the city council meeting. Bye. It's not a city council, it's a Chimes and Lights. I'll get my meeting right here. Geez, one after another. Holy cow. Then I got
All
my
right.
meeting at 6.
Yeah. So
Okay.
if you have the street reserved, then you don't need flaggers, right? Because the streets are closed.
The streets are closed at each end, and I can't see, and it's like we said, since when do I not know how to cross the street at a crosswalk? If you have flags and if you have a button that you can push, people are crossing the street on their own. The street's closed at each end. And it's the same way with the parade. People walk back and forth across the street because they know the street is closed during a parade. I like it over here, but now I want to get out of the sun, so I'm going to go over there. That kind of a thing.
Well,
So
we'll keep working on that. Yeah.
So
I
if
don't,
we have the street closed for Chimes and Lights, I do not see a reason why you have to have flaggers, in my opinion.
no.
But as the police chief said, we're working through it this year, but be prepared for things to come next year. And the other thing to come would be the necessity of toilets. They passed out last Thursday a sheet that the health department brought down. Now, the health department is not in charge of toilets and can't tell you that's what you have to have. It's a recommendation. But according to them, any crowd that is over 5,000, minimum is 30 toilets. We can't afford 30 toilets. The grand parade, I have to have a minimum of 16. I've already written Hemley's for a quote because their prices went up. I had 5 for the fireworks show because we put 2 out at West Bay Center, and those 5 ran $910.
Wow.
So I need 16, so you triple that. Yeah. So are you required to put toilets out for Chimes and Lights?
I'm not sure because it depends on if we have that event, the run in our midst.
Uh-huh.
And we've partnered with them in the past. We've kind of exchanged different things.
And they did the toilets down there at the marina area, right?
Correct. Yeah. So I'm not sure this year if Loretta's going to have a run or not. and what that's going to look like. So we're information gathering like crazy right now. And it's the same way, Sharon, we can't really promote a lot of stuff until we have an idea.
Until
what-
you know for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And, you know, we've taken a whole bunch of assignments, each of us, to try to find out, fast track on finding out if we're going to have choirs and all the different stuff. We don't know. We have no idea.
Right.
So, yeah. there
But
won't-
we're still willing to bring Santa and decorate the grass like we did last year since we're opening up. So we're all good to go with that.
Okay, so bring Santa. Tell me exactly bring Santa and the
Well,
grass.
You know, we put the sleigh on the grass last year down by the marina office to where we could keep lot 3 and lot 4 completely open for people to come and park in.
Right. We've in the past had Santa come on the fire truck.
Right, he comes in, but then he comes around and gets
Right.
dropped off at our area
Right.
where we had the kids line up for him.
Right. And what we're trying to do is find out about which Santa. Do you still have Dennis Simpson for the cabin?
Dennis is completely out of the Santa business.
Oh,
Okay.
Completely out. Yeah.
Okay.
I cornered him at concerts a couple of weeks ago, and he said due to his heart issues that he's completely out of the Santa business.
Okay. I'll
We have
double
to
check
have
with
it in Santa.
Okay. Then Rita, you go ahead and well, not, you can check with Brian,
I will check with Brian, yeah.
and I'll check with Pat and see if we need to. Who else are you using for Santa? Rita, Sharon. Do
I
you
don't
have
know who the Santa was, but you got him last year for us.
Pat? We've had Pat in the past.
He
Again,
had his wife with him.
yeah, I'm not sure if his health is good either.
Oh, okay.
We'll have to find out. So we're checking on a Santa. Otherwise, we're going to create one. What do you think of Brian Sauer being Santa?
I think Brian Sauer would be fine.
Yeah, I do too. I think he'd actually be pretty hilarious. Maybe he could ride a motorcycle.
I'll have Larry give him a jingle tonight and see how he feels about it. He also has had a few health issues,
Yeah, I
nothing
know.
life threatening, but
I know.
I know that we just tease him about the beard and looking just like Santa. Is that what he's looking at? And, you know, like I said, with the grandkids, he's a people pleaser. He's such a sweet man. And so
Yeah, he is.
He's so
I think
fun.
Brian will be very honest if he'd like to, if he can't.
Well, and he loves children, you guys. He's raising, helping to raise his
Yes.
grandson. He's just a gem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, we'll check on all of that. Sharon, do you know what POPSA is doing for Christmas at all?
No, they didn't discuss anything of that at their last meeting. They were concentrating more on the Chris Craft Club coming in and the up and coming art and vintage fair that they just
Okay.
had. So
Okay.
that'll probably come down the road. I know Corrine put the sleigh, I got the sleigh available that Larry Stokes hauled in to the dock area where she actually had Santa in there. And I don't know if she would want to do that again in addition to the chimes and lights, because I don't think Larry would bring down a sleigh for us for one night and then bring down another sleigh for them. So I don't know. We just
Okay.
have to talk it out.
All right. All right. Well, we'll go about finding out all this information. I don't think we can do much until our next meeting, but we'll get our information together and have another, I think these Zoom call-ins work for this committee right now.
I'm fine with Zooms because if I hadn't have been able to get on Zoom, you wouldn't have seen me today.
I think they're a godsend right now.
Yeah, you know what? Let's continue on Zoom.
Yeah.
It's very efficient and we've got a lot of work to do. So let's just go ahead with having our next meeting. Let's see, we've got the date set. What is that meeting?
It's said to be announced on the agenda.
Would it be August 16th, the third Monday in August? I think.
Okay, I can't do that Monday because my daughter's gonna officially have her wedding.
Oh,
So-
nice.
Okay.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
yeah, we had the COVID thing, which was small and lovely, but could we go ahead and make that the 23rd, you guys? Does that work for all of you?
August 23rd.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
okay. Let's do that. Then we'll come back with all of our information and go like crazy.
Sounds good too.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Really appreciate it so much.
Thank
Okay,
you.
and again, my apologies for being late, but boy, that was a long call.
We're good. We're good. And thank you for all the valuable information, Sharon, and for the fabulous fireworks.
And we